This episode of The Republic is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, just head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV.
GameBreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the new day. The new day for The Republic. I'm Gary Gannon, and you're watching The Republic. This is episode 154 for September 12th, 2013. This week's space has been revealed. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Free stuff for everyone and class rep Q&A goodness, all that and more. But first, you know him, you love him from Massive.com. Mr. Larry Everett, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and today is sponsored by Kool-Aid Liquid Grape Flavor.
Yes! I've got my Kool-Aid grape liquid flavor right here in my Game Breaker mug.
Sponsor us, please. Sponsor us right here. Kool-Aid, please.
The grape drank. And joining us as always, Laura Williams. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm now covered in cat hair.
Oh, from the warlord
From the
cat
fatty.
from the fatty warlord cat. So we're on a new day. It's Thursday. It's not Monday. We've moved the day, not the time of the show, but the day of the week. We've moved the Republic now to live Thursdays at 6 PDT. Reason for the switch, for what I'm told, is someone wanted an extended weekend. Goes out drinking too much on Sundays. Larry, you gotta tone down the party.
But it's my life. It's my way of life. I gotta party on Sunday nights.
Got a party on Sunday. No, for the past I don't know how many weeks now, all the news coming out of BioWare on Star Wars has been what is it, like Wednesdays? Is most of it coming out?
It's been coming out like Monday, Tuesday, and even as late as Wednesday. And so
We're
by
missing
the time
everything.
that we get it, it's already almost a week late. So so we moved this time or the day.
So we moved the show to Thursday, so Larry can get his drank on, his grape drank.
That's right.
So come on, show up for the live show now Thursdays at 6, followed by, of course, Legendary, staying same time at 8 PDT and all that good stuff. So Thursdays just got a whole lot better with some SWTOR. All right, so the super secret space project isn't so super secret. Wait, I don't want to talk about first. This commercial here that I'm playing back here.
Oh, yeah.
The new live action Star Wars The Old Republic commercial. What do you guys think of this thing?
I thought it was pretty cool.
What are they doing with this? Is this going to be television?
This was, oh gosh, you know what's really funny is somebody made mention of this on Twitter. Brian Wagner from that used to be part of Tor Wars. He said, "Wow, that's really great that they're showing us this commercial that they teased us 2 years ago," and then one of the former community managers replied, "Yeah, and it was done 2 years ago too." So,
oh wow, this is like 2 years old.
Yeah, it
Well,
kind of
and
is.
it never got released, or what was this? What's the story?
Yeah, they never put it out. It just I don't know what the reason is why they never put it out. Maybe it just didn't. Maybe they just felt that the market.
Maybe
was
they thought the
saturated.
flash mob was better.
Yeah, maybe they thought the ad marketing was already saturated or whatever. Who knows what the reason is? I'm sure it's perfectly legitimate. But,
I don't know why I'm not a huge fan of these live action MMO commercials ever. Like I don't think I've seen one. The Guild Wars 2 one was the pinnacle of just awful. That one was so bad. Like that one was terrible. Even the new Final
Lord of
Fantasy.
the Rings one, the Lord of the Rings one, that
vaguely.
was with the guy dressed up as Gandalf. That was pretty great.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible. And then now you got the Final Fantasy one that I don't love either. It's not that good. I'm not a big fan of this one. I don't know why. I think they're kind of cheesy. I don't know.
They are a little bit cheesy.
Be in the game kind of thing. Come on,
that's probably the thing. I bet you that's why they didn't release it initially, is because it was kind of it didn't fit the motif. It was like it just it felt kind of fake because you're not, you know what I mean? You're playing a game. You're not. I don't
This
know.
one's not
It's-
terrible. I
no,
gotta
it's
say,
not,
on
it's not horrible. It's go
on
ahead.
the scale of all these live action commercials, this is definitely one of the better ones. But that's funny that this is that old. I had no idea that this was old. It's funny because when I brought that up and I put it on, you started talking. I'm looking at the chat room. There was like, this is old. I'm like, what do you mean this is old? It just got this week. Like, so
Yeah.
now it makes sense.
This
that they
came out
hold it this-
today. Actually, it was just released officially today.
Officially.
But but it is actually.
Sorry,
a couple years old.
Gannon. Old news. It came out like 2 years ago. Leaked on some bullshit internet website that you shouldn't go
Yeah.
to.
I forget where they revealed it. Where they
4chan?
revealed it. No. It was actually at one of the events, and I forget which event it was. But
They
yeah.
released it on Space Dicks. That's where they released it. Now it's
Yes.
live. All right.
Yes.
Let's talk about some other stuff. So basically, the super secret space project that we've been talking about forever. SWTOR Miner on Reddit. I guess he lives up to his name, he or she, because we got some data mine material, which looks to be about everything we needed to know. I would say this is pretty much all-encompassing, all-telling. There it is. WASD, target, mouse, fire, secondary weapon, primary weapon, spacebar for boosters, turrets, objectives. It says 1, destroy turrets around objectives. 2, remain near objectives till they become captured. So, pretty safe to say, free flight confirmed. There could be nothing other than free flight.
Yay, that is going to make people so incredibly happy because I know if they released this and it was on Rails again, you are going to hear raging like there was no tomorrow.
Yes. I mean, I don't think we kind of all knew that this was going to be free flight. We kind of all speculated it would be free flight. But I mean, this image pretty much seals the deal that this is going to be a free flight, sort of space project here. Like I said, you got primary weapons, secondary weapons. You got combat abilities. Looks like you've got power management. The mini map does not look finished yet. I would say that it looks. You can't even actually see it in that shot. It's kind of over here. Doesn't really look finished. So it still looks like a work in progress. Remember, this is data mined material. So unfinished business right here. Anything missing though? Anything missing? I don't think this looks pretty robust.
It's I mean, as far as the basics of what I guess we consider a flight sim of sorts. There's no first-person view. That would be wicked.
Well, you don't know there's not a first-person view.
Yeah, how do you
Maybe
know?
you can scroll all the way in.
Well, anything missing from this that is first-person view would be the only thing.
Yeah, it's a good point. I would think now that you say that, I hadn't even thought about that, but I would think that they would put that on this image of your mouse somewhere.
Yeah. If you could do that. But
my money's going to be not on first person. Do we really need first person for this? It would have been kind of cool.
It would I think it would be. I mean, I think a lot of like flight simmers people that enjoy that kind of thing, people that want the JTL kind of the jump to light speed kind of feel would be looking for the first person view. But personally, I'm cool with this. I think it's fine. I never actually. You know what? I'm just thinking about it. Flight sims are about the only thing that I ever did in first person. I don't usually play like first person shooters because it's disorienting. But the flight sims, though, for some reason or another, work really well for me in first person, and so I'm interested to see how this one feels.
You interested in Star Citizen? You interested in Star Citizen?
Yes. If it lives up to its potential, yes. Right now, all we have is
I think they added fog and haze into my hangar.
Ooh.
Excited. I've never been so excited to walk around a hangar with a ship in it that I can do absolutely nothing in ever. I can't remember the last time I'm just like, this is great. I've logged in and like just walked around my hangar in Star Citizen like 15, 20 times, and I can't do shit. I can't even do anything. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. So I guess if we're to trust data mining material here, which we will, just for the sake of it's the internet. It's got to be true.
Absolutely. Everything on the internet is true.
It looks like it's also, obviously it looks like it's going to be PvP, right? There'll be multiple gameplay modes, multiple maps. Again, I think we all expected that this was what it was going to be, was very PvP centric, or that's the entire thing. Multiple maps. I mean, why wouldn't there be? But what about gameplay modes? What kind of gameplay modes do you think we'll get? You think we'll get more than one gameplay mode straight away?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we see this is kind of like the capture the turret. The oh gosh, now the term is escaping me. But like Alderaan, where you capture the point to destroy the other team's base or whatever.
The gun.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Alderaan, gonna be like Navarre Coast, but in space, and apparently 3D. You got, instead of just having 2 dimensions to work with, you have 3 dimensions to work with. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out in the end. Yeah.
What about capture the flag mode?
I don't know. Maybe if it's like in actual Star Wars, where you have, how they had the droid sitting outside? So you can have a droid sitting outside your ship, and they can have to go out there and grab the hut ball.
Ooh, hut ball.
We're getting new companions for them, so.
Space ball. Space balls is genius. That would be amazing. Hopefully they do add that. I've captured a flag worked in Battlefront 2, right?
Did they? What was the Battlefront 2?
I believe the capture the flag mode, according to our producer, capture the flag mode worked well in Battlefront 2.
I will take his word for it, because I honestly don't remember. I do know that
Schwartz!
they had.
Yes. Space balls would be great. Definitely, they should just release that. What about straight up deathmatch? Straight up deathmatch.
I would expect to see one of those.
There needs to be a straight up deathmatch. If there isn't one initially, that needs to be like the next thing they do, is a straight up deathmatch, because
seems like a no brainer.
Dog fighting. Come on. Real? Yeah, exactly. No brainer.
What about I think I mentioned it. Was it last week? I sort of brought it up. I still think it'd be really cool. I don't know. Do you think we'll ever sort of see some sort of the space PvP stuff combined with ground combat and like capital ships, boarding parties, and like structures? Because that would just, I gotta say, if they did that, I'd be logging in, at least to try it, because it sounds intriguing.
That would be very, very cool. However, I don't think, with the way that they've designed the game and the issues that they have had with open world kind of stuff, that we're going to see that anytime soon. Sorry.
But what if it's in like an 8 versus 8 or something like that, and you have to capture the other team's capital ship, or become a boarding party that way?
Even if they
could do that.
But even if they sort of instance it, right? Like, what if you had an objective in space, and then your team has to get to like land or something, and literally they could do some sort of like timing thing between the next instance, and then port you all into some sort of ground combat scenario, finish that, and then maybe go back to space, and maybe make some I don't know. I think that'd be really interesting and kind of cool.
All right.
It wouldn't have to be seamless. I'd be totally okay if it was even instance with like a loading screen.
If you want Gary to play,
that's what you gotta do.
There you go.
Am I wrong? Does that not sound actually kind of intriguing?
No, I think that's awesome.
It sounds a lot of fun.
It sounds very interesting.
They have
the
both.
loading screen part.
Yeah.
They have ground, they have now space. Combine the two together and make some maps where some of it actually bounces back and forth. I don't know. It could be kind of neat. Other information that they data mine. So it looks like there's lots of progression here, lots of gear to get. Looks like there's a ton of abilities and talent and experience points. I mean, this actually seems as close as you can possibly get to actually having a whole nother game inside of Star Wars: The Old Republic, doesn't it?
Yes. I am impressed that if everything that's in the data mine, if that's all true, which so far this guy's been pretty spot on with what he's shown in the past. So I'm pretty impressed that they have actually gone so far as to kind of create another. It's not really even a mini game. It's kind of its own game, really, when it comes down to it. Like you said, different abilities, different ships, and those kinds of things. So I'm really I think that's really cool. I think that they've done a pretty good job so far. I can't wait to see it actually get in there and play it, see what happens.
Laura, what do you think? The one thing I gotta wonder is that I think it sounds great. It sounds really cool, and I'm excited for it. Does this really speak to PvPers though, to try and give them something to PvP? Like, are the same people who are into player versus player gonna take to the dogfighting style of player versus player?
I don't know if everybody will, but I do know that I have a couple of friends of mine who play for nothing but PvP, and they are considering coming back if there is PvP in space. They did love it in other games. They loved it in Jump to Lightspeed. So it would at least get the people that I know to come back and give it a try. If it goes free play, they're not going to resub.
What about you, Lar? What do you think? You've been pretty harsh on the PvP side of SWTOR for a while now. Does this kind of make up for it, for that community?
I think that it will. It's definitely a step in the right direction because it's giving them new content. I do believe that because the PvPer in general, from my comprehension of the motivations of PvPers, is not necessarily. It's the idea of competition. It's not necessarily the format in which that competition is given. It's so as long as there's the competition and there's reward and there's a way to show other people that what they've accomplished and how they've been able to outmatch other people, then it's a win.
I guess the hard thing to really say right now, though, is how intricate like the PvP is sort of going to be as far as like your abilities, your talents, your trees. I think a big question for everybody is what's the ship customization going to be like, right? Like, how do you do your builds, which basically like how to build your character. We do know a few other things though. We have 4 new space companions for each faction. I'm not sure we know how they're different from regular companions yet. Do we have any insight on that?
Nothing.
He found codex entries that told you a little bit of, like, kind of introducing the pet, but beyond that,
no details.
Right. Yeah.
No details.
Yes, we don't know
if they're actually going to be in your crew companion or if it's just going to be on your spaceship.
Yeah.
One other thing I think here from Star Wars fans will definitely realize is that if you take a look at this ship here, that's not really a ship that we've seen before. We've got some brand new fighters coming in, and lots of them. Lots of ships. There's just a few of them. I don't know the names of these. I don't know if you know. We've got some screenshots. These are a few of them, but it seems like there's actually going to be a lot of ships to basically choose from.
Yeah, it looks like we have a Republic ship, which is the one that kind of looks like an X-wing, except it's an asterisk wing apparently or something. But that one's definitely a Republic ship. Then we have another one that kind of looks that has like TIE fighter wings on it that is most likely the Imperial ship. Yeah, it was the third. Is it the third one in the group? That was the Imperial one, but I don't know who these other ones are.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, the last one kind of looks like
that
a bounty
one right
hunter
there
ship.
is Republic.
Well, I see. That kind of looks like a bounty hunter or possibly the trooper ship. It resembles that, so I'm not sure. I'm just taking a wild guess here, really. There's one that kind of looks like a boat with.
I don't know. That's the one that looks like the Republic. What's labeled Republic bomber.
Yeah.
What is this one here? What can you tell from this one?
The one we're looking at.
Yeah.
That one.
Well, that's you're looking at the wrong one. Now I see why you're all confused because you're looking at the wrong one. Hang on, let me fix this. Yeah, there's a bunch of. Did they data mine how many they're actually going to have? Like any sort of number?
The ones that you see, the ones we have screenshots of.
This is all we have, right? So nothing else.
That is another. That was listed as another Republic one.
Yeah, that's a Republic fighter.
And I know they had, at least in the data mining picture that he had, on the wings, they had guns that would attach to those little wing flaps.
Yeah, and that's actually similar to an existing ship in game currently. The ones that you, that's another one that is very similar to an existing ship in game. During the current space missions, those are that's the Imperial fighter and the Republic fighter respectively.
So
And
the
that
big
that was brand new one.
Yeah,
That one right there is a brand new one.
The big question, of course, everybody, when are we going to get it? It's been data mined. Seems like a lot of it's there. When do you think this is going to go in? Do you think that all this content being in the package of material already, do you think that means this year? You're going to see it in 2013?
Well, they said actually 2.4 is coming out in October, so it's very possible that we'll be seeing it very, very soon. And we'll be seeing it right after that. What, 2.5, right?
You think you're just going to roll this out a point patch?
No, I don't think so.
You think it's going to be
I think it's going to be an expansion like McCab.
I would have to agree.
I think we should probably expect to see it. If they don't put it out for Christmas, I would definitely expect early January.
How do you think they're going to handle free players? Do you think that they'll restrict it?
If it's an expansion, they'll probably require people to buy it.
Yeah, like Rise of the Hut Cartel.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that happening.
And then
they
give it to you.
I don't know.
Then they give it to you for free in a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we should all wait 6 months for it to go free for subscribers and then get the bonuses that come along with that.
We're going to talk about that very soon. But it looks like exciting stuff. This looks really cool. I think a lot of players looking for the space combat stuff. Definitely looks like a good addition to the game. So definitely keep your eye out, and we'll keep our eyes peeled for some more data mine material or anything else we can kind of dig up. But it looks like it's shaping up pretty well. It could be fun. I mean, it could be a lot of fun.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to hopefully bring a lot of people back to the game that have been looking for space combat for a while. So I'm excited for it.
I want to talk about the Rise of the Hut Cartel craziness going on this week. First, I want to tell you guys really quickly about Shutterstock. If you guys have not checked out Shutterstock, if you guys have a YouTube page or a website or a guild site, you guys got to check out Shutterstock. We use it daily right here on GameBreaker.tv for all different kinds of things. I was working on the EQ Nation website, our next site that's going to actually launch. And I was looking for some like wood plank signs and things like that, and I found a bunch of really good stuff here. I ended up using some of this wood. Actually, that's the wood that I'm using in the logo for the EQ Nation site. But all kinds of stuff like this. You can use this, like, want to hang off your logo off the top of your website or something. You ain't got time to make this stuff, or I definitely don't have the skills to make this kind of stuff. That's for damn sure. That's why I use Shutterstock. So if you guys have a site, website, YouTube, anything, creative project, you need stock photography, vector artwork, or footage, or any of that stuff, Shutterstock is the place you want to go. You can go today, sign up, make an account, a free account at that if you want to start looking around and saving some stuff. And then when you're ready to sign up and subscribe, just use the offer code GameBreaker9, and we're going to save you guys 25% off on your accounts. Go check it out today. That's at Shutterstock.com. All right, so Rise of the Hut Cartel. So from today, subscribers will automatically get Rise of the Hut Cartel absolutely free of charge. Active subscribers who've bought the expansion will get a title, The Risen, as a thank you. How do you feel about that, Larry?
I'm cool with that part of it.
Okay.
That's fine. Cool.
While subscribers who bought the expansion in the last month, just so you guys know, if you bought it in the last month, you'll get 1,050 cartel coins as compensation back. So they're going to give you back some cartel coins if you bought it within the last month. But why do I get the feeling this may not have gone down so well in the forums?
I don't know.
All I have to say is BioWare, fuck you. So I love Star Wars.
Tell us how you really feel, Laura.
Even with all of the features that constantly don't get fixed, I love this game. I bought the collector's edition. I pre-ordered McCab. I've enjoyed McCab. But you know what? I am really upset that I have bought the expansion. I'm a subscriber. I have been paying the entire time. And you're not going to give me 1,050 coins as well?
They give you a title, The Risen. You're the Risen. You're the Rizza.
This
Not
is what
doing
I think
it?
about that.
Not doing it? Not doing it for you? Title's not doing it for you? Not enough compensation for being a longtime subscriber, collector's edition owner, still playing from day one? No? Not going to do it.
You're number one, BioWare.
How many times can they do this to the longtime subscribers and players? Like how long can this go on before you and other people are just completely fed up? I have to know. I checked out a long time ago.
You know, it's little things like this that wear on my desire to want to continue to play this game. Like, I really do. Like, I love the people that I play with. I love the Star Wars universe. Even for all of the faults in this game, I really enjoy logging in every day and doing things in the game. But I just feel like every time I turn around, I'm getting pissed on, and I'm tired of it. All they had to do is give all subscribers. Like, I don't have a problem with them making McCab free to play. In fact, I think that's fantastic. They should make it free to play. I don't, you know, it was like $10, whatever. It's like 10 hours of gameplay. Make it free to play. I'm okay with that. But the fact that you're going to refund people the $10 that they spent because they bought it a month ago, instead of refunding the $10 to fucking everyone else that bought it 6 months ago, are you kidding? How do you justify that at all? And want to say that, you know, that this is okay, and oh, you know, these people that just bought, but we're just going to, you know, ignore the other people. And I think there's been a mix on the forums from people saying, you know, well, you've had 6 months to enjoy the content. Well, so what? So what? Why does that make my money that I've been spending any less than the people that just bought it a month ago?
Do you think it's like that like store sort of sale mentality? Like I go to the big Best Buy and I buy something and I kind of got like 30 days where if it goes on sale, I could go back with the receipt, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll you know, give you the sale price. You bought that like a week ago. They'll kind of do that, but there's a certain limit where they sort of cut that off. Maybe that's how they're looking at it. They're sort of saying like, hey, you know, we're giving you 30 days, but you know, they're not doing too well.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. And some people said, and I don't see it in the chat room here, but some people said on the forums, you know, well, if you did the pre-order, then you got the Hut statue, and you got the pet, and you got the little title. No, that was for pre-ordering the expansion. That was not for buying it.
Do you think this is going to be a trend that we're going to see now that they're giving it away for free? What happens when they do the next one? Like, do people now expect to buy it and 6 months later they put it in the free market and then you'll get nothing? Like, or are they just going to start releasing these now for free? Do you think they had a change of heart and they said, oh, we probably shouldn't have even charged from this from the beginning? Like, what do we think this is for the future?
No, I think they're going to continue to charge for it. They'll put out little mini expansions, and it's going to go up, and they're going to make the money that they can. And then in 6 months later, they're ready to do something else, they're going to stick it up there, and they're going to make it free. I mean, they're not making it free for free to play. They're not making it free to preferred. It's only for subscribers. So if you want to sit there and hang out, then you can do that. But I'm so disgusted. I'm just disgusted.
So what do you do as you're like one of the hardcore players that have been playing since day one? Like, what do you do now when the next expansion drops? Are you buying it, knowing this, or are you completely just like, F you, I'm not buying it, I'm going to wait 6 months?
No, I'm a big sucker. I've got it written on my forehead, so I'm probably going to buy it again because I'm going to want to play Space.
See, is that the problem? Is that they just know that they
like me who are going to keep dumping money into this?
And that's the thing. Do they just know that they just got this group of people where it's just like it doesn't even really matter if they kind of do the wrong thing?
With each paper cut, people drop off. You know, these are little bitty things like it. One of the guys, actually, he's in chat room right now, is fond of saying "death by 1,000 paper cuts," and this is one of those paper cuts. This is another one of those little things where, okay, is this the one that's going to make me stop playing the game? And there's a whole bunch of these, and it's been a trend actually almost since launch. Really, let's be honest, it's been a trend since launch that all the financial top level decisions that are made in this game have all been crappy ones. When you get down to the developer level, it's not as crappy. But once the top level money making kind of decisions are made, they've all just been kind of crap on the players. And actually, there was somebody in our guild, I forget who it was off the top of my head, but somebody in our guild said, you know what, it'd been just fine And I've been absolutely fine with this if they had just made it free and not done the 150 or 1,050 cartel points to those that had just bought it. I think I would be completely on board with that as well. I think it would be perfectly fine if they had just said, "Hey, guess what? We're going to make this free as of this date." And they should have given. They probably should have given a little bit of warning for those maybe.
But then they would have sold them. Nobody would have bought it then. It's like,
well, of course.
If they give you a date, what's the point? They shouldn't even. What's the point then? They're just like, hey, give a date.
Okay,
then
make the announcement date, September 12th, and say that, all right, because they're not expecting to make any money off of it now, right? Like,
but if they make an announcement date for if they make a date and they say, hey, by X date this is going to go free, they could just. No one is going to buy it from today on then. Almost no one is going to buy
exactly. Well, they're not planning on anybody buying it as of September 12th. So what you do is you make the announcement on September 12th and say, you know what, on the 1st of October it's going to be free. See, they're not expecting people to.
I guess you could do that.
And then that way,
how many?
Okay, they're not expecting money from it anyway.
How many paper? Where are you at this point with SWTOR though, Lara? I mean, you're saying death by 1,000 paper cuts. How many paper cuts can you take? Laura's like livid right now. She's just like, I want to get down to the root. All I gotta say is,
I'm waiting for WildStar at this point, and when that comes out, I will probably stop playing Star Wars. As much as I love being in Star Wars, I'm just tired of being shit on as a subscriber.
What do you love about being in Star Wars though right now? Is it really? I really want to get down to this because is it the game or is it your group of friends and the people you're playing with? If everybody in your guild tomorrow said, "Hey, we are going to go play Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow," would you be okay with that and just go?
No. Well, I mean, for me, it's honestly because I like Star Wars. I like lightsabers. I like my Twi'leks. I do like the game. I don't like how subscribers are treated, though.
What about you, Lara?
I'm with Laura as far as I'm sticking with the games because I really like Star Wars. I really do like the game, especially the PvE side of the game. It's really great. I think it's great, and I think it's stepping up. They're definitely doing an incredible job with the PvE side of the ground game, and they're doing things really well. There's a few PvP, not so much, but that's where I am because I like the PvE game, and I like I like Star Wars, so I'm sticking with the game. These little things are. I feel
for all you guys. Like I feel for you because I don't think what they're doing is right. I've been saying it since they went free to play. Looking at their first grid, I've been giving them shit for this because I think that the whole entire free to play model that they've set up since day one has been crappy for the players. Like it has never been good. And we've talked time and time again. Like you said, it's a death of 1,000 paper cuts. It's like none of them are so huge that anyone's quitting. But it's like time and time again. There's just like these little things that they're just like, you sat in a room and thought that like players would be like, yeah, it's totally cool. Give them 1,000 cartel coins. You know what? Give those other guys a title. They'll shut up.
It just seems to me that what they were trying to do, they did the opposite of. So like they were trying to it seems to me that they were trying to alleviate the issue of people coming to them and saying, oh, hey, I just bought Rise of the Hot Cartel a month ago. I want a refund. Well, they're trying to alleviate that problem, but what they ended up doing is pissing off those other people that bought it more than a month ago. So they just created a bigger problem than they would have had initially. It's just it's all, and most of it, like I said, it all boils down to the financial decisions of this game. They just absolutely have no clue how their player base is going to react.
Are they just raking in cash money hand over fist, and it's like they're just sitting back.
Raking in money? How is this raking in money?
Just in general,
to gain them
I don't know.
I mean, the free to play model, I can see. Yes, that is gaining them money because they're able to manipulate things here and there. That I absolutely understand that. But how is this thing that they're doing this time? How is that making them money? How is that saving them anything? that is just pissing people off. I don't see how that's doing anything.
How much is 1,050 coins worth? Is it the price of the expansion?
Like $10.
Yeah,
and
it's
was
the
that
price of the expansion.
So they basically got all their money back. All right, so those guys are happy.
Yeah.
Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not unhappy that I paid the $10 originally for the expansion. Like, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to give these people their $10 back, why are you not going to give me my $10 back? I mean, I bought it when it was new content. And I don't have a problem with it being free to play. But if you're going to give people their money back, then give me mine back too. Give me. So
really, what I guess I hear you saying then is that they should have just said, we're making it free. But if they hadn't given these people back their 1,050 cartel coins, everything would be fine.
Yes. Either give it to everybody or give it to nobody.
You don't think the time frame has anything to do with it, though?
I'm sure the time frame does, but I don't think that should matter.
No, I kind of agree. I got to think, what are the forums like right now? Are they all are they mixed, or are they pretty much?
They're mixed. You've got people who are outraged, just like I am, and then you've got some people that said that, I should suck it up, and I've had 6 months to play, and, I shouldn't be complaining about that because I was able to enjoy the content before these other people, and some people are new to the game. They've just picked it up recently, and, it's not fair that if they just bought the expansion that now they should have to pay that $10. Well,
I feel like it.
When I played WoW, none of WoW's expansions have ever gone free. So
it's also not a free to play game. But on the flip side, I gotta think that also if you're a subscriber and you haven't picked up the expansion yet, it's going to be great for them, obviously. But is it just me, or I think that's going to be a very small number of people? Like, don't you really feel like probably most of these subscribers have purchased this already? So subscribers are already paying off $15 a month. They bought the expansion. Now you're doing this. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean the 3 people that bought the expansion within the last month are going to be the only people that are going to be happy. So whoever the half a dozen people are that did
basically what I'm getting is BioWare basically made a very small percentage of their player base very happy, and they just pissed off kind of a large percentage of their player base.
Yeah. A large percentage of the whales, really, when it comes down to it. The people that are spending a lot of money on this game, they pissed them off. They pissed off those people.
I don't understand why they would do this. I don't get how they thought this was.
I don't get it either. Yeah. Yeah, they obviously want to convert free players into subscribers. That has been their motivation for a very long time. It seems the way that they've structured everything. But then they do things like this that sort of speak to the subscriber, and they don't really say hey guys, we're taking care of you. You're the subscribers, we got your back. We're going to take care of you. We're looking out for you. That would be motivation for a free player to convert to a subscriber, to get to know, hey, as a subscriber, I don't get screwed. I don't get nickeled and dimed. I get taken care of. I get everything. Yet it seems totally the opposite. It's it just seems totally ridiculous. I don't know. I guess subscribe and get the expansion for free. Bargain. Done. Don't be a whale. Don't be. I think. Yeah, I think it'd be. That would be really, really cool if they would say, hey, if you are subscribed on this date, even if it's one day, on September 12th, if you are subscribed on this date, you will get 1,050 cartel coins. That would be freaking awesome. You know how many subscribers they get for that? At least for a month?
Crazy. All right, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have more conversations like this in the future. Laura, okay, are you okay? Can you go on?
Unfortunately.
Can you go on? Are you okay? Yeah, unfortunately, we will. This is not the end of this. I am sure. Just give him a week to do something ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody is psychologically just completely fucked up in the head over there. It's black is white and wrong is right, and it just doesn't make sense. We talked about it a million times. Can't you just sit somebody in a room and just put some don't we have electrodes on the brain to find out where the brain fires off at this point, and just trying to figure out positive and negative reinforcement from psychology, and just go, how do you feel when we do this to you? Oh, that hurts. Okay, then don't do that. It's really simple. It's really simple.
Please shock me again. Shock me again. Do it. Yeah.
Negative reinforcement of just like trying to extract money out of you. I don't know. Maybe it's working because Laura, after all that raging, just goes like, "I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it."
Yeah, like I am gonna buy it. I mean, and I say the same thing. Like I bitch about the cartel market, yet a new cartel pack comes out, and I'm like, oh man, that looks really cool. I really wish that I had that. I'm still waiting for my subscribers' monthly stipend to come in so I can buy the Sing emote and we can complete our band. Yes, I am completely a masochist. Why don't you just go ahead, hog tie me, and beat me with the flogger? Because that's basically what's going on here.
Is that working? Is that where is like battered syndrome? Like of like, you know, people are just getting beat up and like the people who are like in the game playing it like to be tortured.
It.
But that's of all.
But on the other hand, I'm going to keep buying it because they do things that are also great. It's just like Larry said. Like I'm incredibly excited about the next patch coming out. I'm excited about the arenas. I'm excited for Oricon. I've been on Test Center. I think the area looks amazing. It's Belsalvis mixed with Cthulhu and fire, and I can't wait for that to go live and to get in there, and I'm excited for the new dungeons coming.
Battered player syndrome. The new fetish dungeon coming to Star Wars. Where we not only steal your money, we beat, whip, and hog tie you. There you go. That's coming next. Because obviously Star Wars players like it, I guess.
Can't wait.
Sorry, I had to go there. It just seems like it. It just seems crazy to me. Like I don't know. I don't know why I feel I don't know. I want to reach through and just give you all a hug. Just say it's gonna be okay. You don't have to get beat up by this big ugly behemoth called
That's right,
BioWare.
Kyle. It's a fetish dungeon.
Yep.
All right,
Put
let's
on
talk
the
about
Master's mask.
Let's talk about the latest class rep Q&A. So the scoundrel, we got long answers this week. Some pretty long answers. So the first question had a few parts, starting with stealth classes, about generally feeling like lone wolves because they're stealthy. Does that sort of sum it up?
I guess that's the best way to sum it up. Yeah, I mean, I understand the feeling behind that because you kind of feel like in PvP, you're kind of, PvE, there's other issues, but with definitely in PvE, you're kind of your own, on your own, kind of lone wolfing everything, and you don't seem. Sometimes it's really hard to see the benefit to the whole team because you're by yourself a lot of times. However, I mean, that's kind of what the stealth classes do. In generally speaking, I can't think of any game where it's not like this, where that's pretty much what you are. You are pretty much a lone wolf. However, you're helping out the team because you're doing, you're distracting people from the nodes and that sort of thing.
Is there a stealthy class? Like, isn't that the whole point of a stealth class?
Yeah.
Like, don't players roll stealth to be sort of lone wolves? Like that's kind of the play style, isn't it?
Kind of,
I don't know if
yes.
it's so much lone wolf or if it is to go and be able to get in and grab the objective and get it back.
But
Yeah.
You're still kind of doing that by yourself. Like you're usually like, hey, you're the rogue. Like we're gonna cause a diversion. We'll be over here fighting. You stealth in and sneak around and grab the objective and come back. I mean, isn't that the kind of the play style? I just found this. I don't know why this is making me laugh. I gotta bring this back. What does this mean, though? What does this mean? So, what do you think that they mean by the BioWare say they're open to making stealthers as team friendly as possible? What do you think they can mean? More utility?
That's how. If I were to just throw out a guess, that is how I would say do it. Is more utility. They currently have a couple of utilities that are really, or one in particular that's really interesting for the scoundrel class. They can make a group of people that are standing within this radius of them invisible. So you can have like a team of people, of like 4 people, all running about the same time, and you can all be invisible for a short period of time, like getting up to the node or whatever. It's really it's that kind of stuff is interesting, and I'd like to see more of that possibly come out of the of stealth classes in general. I think that's really cool.
All right, moving on a little bit. So, shoot first or hidden strike. They have an ambush mechanic, right? Big damage coming out of stealth. What's the issue here with this? They might buff it.
Well, I think this was actually coming from a PvE point of view. Was that the complaint was there's a lot of encounters where you can only get it. You can either only get it in one time, or the boss or whatever can get around and see you, and you don't have the opportunity to get back there and use the mechanic really more than like once in a fight.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's definitely from a PvE perspective. It's impossible. It really is impossible to hit the boss or any major encounter with the hidden strike or shoot first more than once, and that's really one of the quintessential abilities of the class, especially the concealment class. Anyway, and so it really makes them not as viable in PvE unless they could somehow do that ability again while not stealth.
And finally, they're looking at buffing quick shot or overload shot to be a better filler ability?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this because it has they said that, it's got a really low damage output versus the cost that it takes to cast it, shoot it. So, like, I honestly haven't used, and I'm a sniper, I haven't used overload shot since I think level 12. It's not on my bars at all, just because it's such a waste of energy. So I would be incredibly happy to see if they can up the damage a little bit to make it useful so that I can pull it back out.
All right, so that was their first answer. It was 3 paragraphs, actually. So long answers this week. But next up here, they said, scoundrels operatives are meant to be shady, slippery characters. Kind of sounds like BioWare. Shady, slippery characters. There it is. That's it. BioWare are scoundrels, and I guess they're role-playing. They're RPers. That's basically that's what we found out. All right. I said scoundrels operatives are meant to be shady, slippery characters that survive by escaping rather than sticking around to face the brunt of a foe's attack. For scoundrels operatives, both their ability to heal and their ability to stealth count toward their ability to survive. We do not give every single class an area of effect damage reduction skill because we want there to be differences and play style variances among the classes. Who knew the class with healing and stealth is squishy? Who knew? Never saw that coming before.
Never.
Never.
Gosh,
never.
I never would have guessed it.
Wow. That's amazing. They're just like flipping everything else on its head. When everybody's zigging, they're zagging. What kind of MMO is this? I don't know. I don't know. Is this an issue in your opinion?
Heal to full.
Is this an issue in any of your opinion? I mean, could they use some survivability here?
Well, I don't think the medicine tree really needs any, but I could see if your concealment or maybe lethality, like it's really not feasible to just run around the corner and cast little tiny heals on yourself. So in that sense, yes, I do think that maybe they need to have some kind of buff. They did say that because medicine is so strong.
Can they just hide behind a pillar and just heal to full?
They could heal. They could go behind the pillar and heal, but the problem is they wouldn't get to full before they ran out of energy, unless they're medicine spec. So they said that they thought about taking some of the utility from medicine and spreading it out over concealment and lethality to try to push that up. But if they just buff the other two, it was able to be picked up by medicine, like they would be operative healers would probably be unstoppable then.
So is this a good kind of take on it? So they're saying one upcoming survivability change will allow them to be healed while using disappearing act or cloaking screen. So they won't actually be able to heal themselves. I think this is a
really good change.
But other healers can help them out, right? So
yeah,
kind of an in-between teamwork sort of situation scenario.
That's definitely. I think that's an incredible compromise because that way you can do that, and on top of that, that helps alleviate some of the lone wolf kind of feeling that they have. So they are kind of reliant on some of the other team members. So they'll, go in, they'll do their stabby thing, run away, and then have a healer waiting for them in the wings. So I think that's definitely a good idea.
I think this is an excellent change, and I know that they had also said for any assassins or shadows that we're reading, they have a talent very similar that is also going to get changed so that they can be healed by other people.
They're also concerned, BioWare that is, they're concerned that the Sawbone Medicine line has too much survivability. So adding further survivability to the class in general is, I guess, pretty complicated. But finally, for Scoundrels, apparently the 4-piece set bonus on their PvE set sucks. What's going on there?
Well, the 4-piece bonus only increases their maximum energy by 5, and the 2-piece increases critical chance of Shiv/Blaster Whip by 15%.
So it's so bad that players are actually picking up the 2-piece set from PvP?
They're picking up Orbital Strike for
they're picking up the PvP set for gunslingers and snipers, which increases the duration of Orbital Strike or Greater Flyby by 3 seconds, which basically gives you an extra tick on Orbital Strike, which is one of the best abilities in the game. It's my favorite.
I wonder if it seems like looking at this though with the Q&A, it might have been apparently asking about this might have been a bad idea. So am I reading this right?
Apparently it's too good. So
it's
now
too good. So
now
they're going to nerf the key ability that benefited from the set bonus, right?
Well, they're going to nerf Orbital Strike, and they're probably going to swap
the 2 and 4,
the Gunslinger 2-piece and 4-piece. So, yeah, I'm a very sad panda.
So
after reading
submit your question, get your answer, get nerfed. There you go.
Yeah. So before we move on to Juggernaut, somebody had posted a little song that they made, which I want to share with everybody. Now, I'm not going to sing because I can promise nobody.
Can you please sing?
Me sing.
Can you please sing?
I'm not going to sing. No.
Please? I said
but
please.
I will read it. Trust me, nobody wants to hear that. But
no, we do.
So here's the poem that they wrote. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to
Here's a little
stab it
song
note for
I
note.
wrote.
Don't worry, be shady. In every fight we have some trouble, but in arenas it will be double. Don't worry, be shady. Ain't got no bonus on our set, just using snipers now, it's not nerfed yet. Don't worry, be shady. You may say we're nerfed a lot, but we'll be saved by overload shot. Don't worry, be shady.
Don't worry, be shady. You should have sung
Don't worry,
it.
you can heal too.
Larry, you gonna sing?
No.
No?
I'm good.
Too bad. Thanks for that, Laura. All right, now I want to talk about the Juggernaut stuff. But first, I want to tell you guys about Netflix. If you guys are not checking out Netflix, what the heck are you waiting for? Who watches real-time TV anymore? Nobody. I don't. All I do is watch Netflix. Go over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. Sign up. I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial. All you got to do is use the URL. It's absolutely free for 30 days. Check it out. It's their streaming service. Stream it to your Roku, your iPad, your Apple TV, Chromecast. Maybe you got the app built into your TV. A lot of TVs have the apps built in now. Blu-ray players even have them. Check it out. Hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial. Just use the URL, netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. I've been a long time subscriber all the way back in those days when they used to send me DVDs in the mail. That's crazy. But thanks so much for Netflix for supporting us and sponsoring this show of the Republic. We couldn't do it without you guys, and you're supporting the Game Breaker just by going over to sign up and create a free 30-day trial for Netflix, netflix.com/GameBreaker.tv. All right, so let's talk a little about the Juggernauts. The answers were considerably much more clear and concise about the Juggernauts. First up, they said, we agree that Enraged Defense is a rather costly defensive cooldown. As you pointed out, using Enraged Defense limits a Juggernaut's ability to deal damage, and we are not completely satisfied with this trade-off. We will be redesigning the way Enraged Defense works at some point in the future. And while we are unable to give exact details on this redesign at the moment, we can tell you that the new Enraged Defense will no longer drain rage while it is active. Our goal is to improve the usefulness of enraged defense so that it does not prevent a juggernaut from putting out a typical amount of damage while it is active. I want to hear thoughts. I mean, is this the right direction? No longer draining rage? What do you think?
I like the idea of cooldowns not draining rage, just because building rage is kind of, it's already kind of built into the whole rotation, and this is just in general, juggernauts in general, no matter what the spec is, building rage is kind of built into the rotation already. And then to have whereas cooldowns, you don't use, generally speaking, people don't use cooldowns on a rotation, so to speak. They use them as they're needed, and so therefore having to throw in a cooldown and it costs rage, throws off your rotation and your DPS in general. And so I think that that's definitely a good idea to make. I would say make it cost no rage, to be honest, but that's me.
Larry says no rage.
Well, you don't want to use it and then suddenly you get there and you have, like, you just got to use your basic attack to build rage back up.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of counterproductive.
I mean, I realize balance is incredibly complicated, but how are players reacting to these answers? I mean, for weeks now, has a single one said we'll change this soon?
They didn't say that they were going to change anything soon, but the forums for the Juggernaut questions were very positive. It seemed like the community was very, very happy with the answers that they received, and the promise that BioWare is going to be reevaluating and working on things for the future.
Didn't they even the scoundrel answers? I mean, they mentioned about changing this into actually in an expansion, right?
They said big changes would probably not be in a patch, that it would be something going forward, like in an expansion where they do kind of a major overhaul.
Interesting, since we don't even know about an expansion. Nothing announced, but all right. Back on track. So Rage has more control than Vengeance. So as a trade-off, gives up some survivability there. Fair enough. I don't know. Doesn't look like anything is changing there. Pretty much all good there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that part of the question was a little bit silly in general. So I got the answer I expected, which was, yeah, you're pretty much good the way you are. We're not going to do anything.
Good. Next up, they said it is not intended for the Juggernaut Guardian damage specialization's output and group utility to be subpar, because Juggernaut's Guardians can specialize to fulfill the role of a tank. We do realize that Juggernaut Guardian damage dealers and some other damage dealers that can specialize in tanking or healing feel like they're not currently desirable group members in operations, and this is a high priority issue for us to address. Does this match your experience in raiding, guys?
That the general topic that he's saying there, yes. I'm going to call it. We used the term hybrid yesterday when talking about this. It's not hybrid in the sense that you're going up multiple trees, but in the sense that you have a class that can, an advanced class that can do multiple things. You have, like for instance, Juggernaut can do tanking and DPS. In most cases, when you, if you have an advanced class that can do something like that, they are less, they're suboptimal versus a class that is specifically geared for DPS. So, for instance, like a Marauder is, generally speaking, preferred over a Juggernaut, and a Sniper is, generally speaking, preferred over an Operative. So, yeah, it's generally, but I'm using generally speaking because Drop It Like It's Hoth, who was the first group to clear TFB, actually used the Juggernaut DPS. So,
wow.
Nightmare, yeah. So generally speaking, although there are exceptions to the rule where it is viable to use Juggernaut DPS or these other classes as DPS.
Laura, how long
Yeah.
has this been a problem?
Well, I don't know that I've felt that Juggernauts necessarily were poor DPS. I would say sorcerers suffer from that more than anything else, and that's been a problem probably since 2.0.
Wow. It's quite a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of a long-term issue then. All right. They go on to say they say that this is not a small issue and there's no really simple fix here. It's going to be affecting multiple classes and stuff like that. And I think, to be fair, for this one, that's pretty believable that this is not something that they can just like snap their fingers and get right. So this is going to take a little time, I think. Finally here, they said, we agree that the Rampage Zen Strike can fall on hard times due to random number generation. We are not opposed to fixing this issue by increasing the chance that Rampage Zen Strike occurs, but it likely means that the rate limit will also need to increase. This would give Vigilance more consistent damage and get it to parse less extreme outliers, both higher lows and lower highs. And this is a change we have no problem making in a future update. Again, is this something that you guys would like to see?
Yes, this is a very, very good quality of life change for Juggernauts.
And who likes RNG
it's
anyway?
Going to... Well, it's going to lower their potential for extreme DPS, but it's also going to lower the potential that they suddenly have no DPS. So they're going to end up somewhere in the middle. And once they get to that point, if things need to be adjusted, I think that's a better place to evaluate from. And
it sounds like, especially with arenas, at least sounding more competitive, you don't really want somebody to lose because someone just got a lucky proc, which this should definitely help.
Mm-hmm.
BioWare also said that they may consider giving Juggernauts a skill which lets them immobilize a target during Ravage. And that would be huge. Wouldn't that be a really big change?
It would be kind of like the Marauder.
I mean, that ability hits like a truck, doesn't it?
Okay, well, here's the difference between that the Marauder having it versus a Juggernaut having it. A Vengeance Spec Juggernaut, their rotation, generally speaking, revolves around Ravage or Master Strike if you're a Guardian. Their whole rotation revolves around that. So that is their key component. They wait for the proc, they get all these other things that makes that the best ability that they can have. Whereas on the Marauder side, a Master Strike or a Ravage it's still a good ability, mind you, but is not the key ability. And so it's basically, I think it's the idea that it's off, that the immobilize is okay for a Marauder because Ravage Master Strike is not the key ability. That's okay. Whereas if you make immobilize on the Vengeance side, it being the key ability, it's like basically them being able to get off their alpha strike, if you will, without you really being able to do much about it. And so therefore that's I think where the balance issue comes in. Is that going to make the Vengeance Spec Juggernaut overpowered?
Will it be interesting to see if they do something like that?
Because I'm going to start leveling mine, and I want that ability.
You didn't give me 1,000 cartel coins, but give me that, and it'll make up for everything. Laura Williams, follow her on Twitter at VoidMigs, VoidMyNX, and of course, right here on the Republic every Thursday now. Thursdays at 6 PDT right here, along with her cats.
Yes.
Along with the big fat black cat that I saw for a minute ago. Larry Arid, follow him on Twitter, Shadow, SHADDOE. Oh, we got to get back to covering. You were going to cover something on Massively. We were going to put it in the show. We totally
I'll talk to Pyro about that. We'll get.
Yeah, let's cover that next week, maybe.
Yeah, I thought free to play. I finished up my free to play experiment, so we can go back and
want to hear about that. Yeah, I'm really curious to hear about that. Let's do that. All right, so you can follow me at Gary Gannon, follow Gamebreaker TV at Gamebreaker TV. Check out all the other sites. Launching. New sites coming. EQ next. Sites coming next. Then WildStar after that. Tesso. Maybe World of Warcraft. Who the F knows? It's crazy. Just launching sites left and right. But It's a good time. So come over and check it out. Like I said, Thursdays at 6 PDT. We show live every Thursday now at 6. Come on over. You guys are awesome. What's everybody laughing at? Something funny?
We need gifs of Laura telling BioWare to.
Oh well, I'm actually gonna make that. I'm gonna actually make that that's gonna be the cover. That's gonna be the featured image. So, and I've already named it. I've already sent it to Q, our producer, and the name of this show will be BioWare Craps on the Players, and it's Laura giving the finger. So there you go. Have a great week, BioWare. We love you. We'll see you next week.